My husband brought home a girl he claimed to be his daughter and a son he claims to be his grandchild. This is the story. Evelyn, 35 years old, has been married to her husband for years, ages, and decades. They've known themselves since forever, and they have always had problem having children. Evelyn could not conceive. She had tried and she had never actually once had a miscarriage. That had grown a lot of tension in their couple. Evelyn even suggested adoption, but she didn't. Her husband denied that he wants a child of his own. Since they couldn't have a child of their own, they better stay without a child than adopting a child. She even proposed to take She had tried to convince her husband severally to adopt a child, which always ended in a categorical no. So he could have children, but decided that since he didn't really like children that much, it was good for him since his wife could not conceive. One evening, Evelyn stood inside and waited for her husband to come back from work as usual, and her husband came in. Usually he will enter the door, he would not knock. So when she heard a knock at the door, she went and she was surprised to see her husband was there with a young girl and a toddler. She didn't know the girl, she didn't recognize the girl because she knows her husband's family, she knows her husband co-workers' families, so she was very sure that she's never met the girl. Before she could ask who they were, her husband told her his lost daughter and his grandson. He just said it, entered the house, sat down, and she was confused. Of course she was confused. She never knew her husband had a child or lost child. Everything was so confusing. She came in, sat down, and demanded explanation, rightfully, because she's the mistress of the house. You cannot just bring in someone and say it is your daughter and your grandson. It didn't make no sense. She had no recollection of him because she had known him for forever. This is a man she had known since she was 18. So there was no time in those years where he could have actually made a child that was old enough to be the young girl's age. Her name was Lillian and her son's name was Jackson. So there was no time where her husband could have had the child and the child could have had the grandchild. So she asked her husband for explanations. Her husband was very clear, he was very certain, and he said he once had a child, but he's not accepted. He told the girl to do whatever thing she wanted to do. He wanted the girl to abort, but the girl could not do it, so she decided to keep the child. Since it was against his will, he told the girl he